Am I the only one who has this feeling that cold emailing is a little bit broken right now? It comes down to two scenarios. In first one, you send 1,000 generic emails that nobody's reading. In second, you send 20 personalized emails, but then how do you scale? I had this problem for quite some time and I decided to dedicate last 3 weeks of my time, and I'm going to show you how to build this awesome agent that goes and scrapes the leads for you, researches each one of them, and writes them a personalized email sequence based on what they're looking for and maps that to the services that you're offering. Now, without further ado, let me show you what I mean. Before I show you how to build an actual agent, let's first go over the stack. We're gonna use Apify for scraping all of our leads. Then we're going to use Firecrawl to actually crawl their websites and get additional information about what potential services we might offer them and get the data like email for our leads. And at the end, we're going to be using all the data that we collected with Apify and Firecrawl, synthesizing it with Claude and using instantly to create marketing campaigns and actually send the outreach to our prospects. Now that you understand what we'll be using today and why, we need to connect those tools inside our Claude Cowork. To connect any tool inside Cowork, you would open the Claude Desktop app and go to your profile icon, then settings, and then you would go to connectors tab. I already have all the things that we need connected, but I want to also show you how you can connect them too. To connect Apify, you would go to browse connectors, and then here you would type Apify. Now, because Apify offers native integration with Cowork, this one is a little bit easier than the other two. You would just click on it, and then I have uninstall here because I already have it connected, but you would click install, and then you would be able to go to configuration tab here, where you will be able to enter your Apify API token. Now, don't be afraid, like getting this API token is really easy. You just need to have the account with Apify, and they even give you $5 free credits, so you can try out all their scrapers. And setup inside Claude even gives you the link here where you can get your API token for Apify. Unlike Apify, Firecrawl and Instantly, as of right now, don't have native connection, but there is still a way that you can connect them easily. In the same connectors tab, you would go to add a custom connector, and then here you would type the name. In this case, I'm gonna connect Instantly, and for this remote MCP server URL for Instantly, you would use this specific one, where your API key is also the API key that you can get pretty easy from Instantly. In the setup docs that you can find in the description of this video, I left all the URLs and all the templates that you would need from this video, so you can just check them out there. And then once you connect Instantly, you would pretty much do the same setup with Firecrawl. It is just going to be a different URL here, and you should name it Firecrawl, and that's pretty much it. After we made all the necessary app connection inside Cowork, we need to make a new project. To make a new project, we would select Cowork in the upper tab, and we would go and hit this new project button. I already prepared the structure for the project, so I'm gonna use an existing folder, and then from here I'm going to select the folder that I already prepared, and I'm going to leave these instructions and files empty because I already have this inside this folder. I'm gonna click create now. As you can see here on the right side, I have in my contacts the necessary files. Now I open this folder inside Visual Studio Code, and don't worry, you don't need this. I'm just using this so I can show you what I have inside the folder. If you have never seen Claude.md before, this is basically an instruction for our project. We're pretty much telling our Claude Cowork how to behave inside this project, what it can do, what it cannot do, some general rules about our specific project. But the really important part in this Claude.md is this connection to company about.md and offerings md. This line tells our Claude about our company, what is our positioning, who we are, and this line tells our Claude what we're offering. This is gonna be different for you because I made this for me, but I will leave overall template so you can customize this for your needs. Also in our project instructions, I reference this specific skill. And to add a skill inside Cowork, you would go into this customize tab here, and then you would go to skills, and then from here you can click this plus button, and then there is a multiple ways to create the skill. In our case, you will just be able to upload the skill, as I will make it downloadable for you. Now what this skill does is it will be invoked every time we mentioned outreach pipeline. First, it will ask us about our niche, about how many prospects we need, location of our prospects, and then it will start executing the workflow. And the workflow is, first it will go and search for leads with Apify. Then after that, it would go lead by lead and crawl their websites with Firecrawl. And at the end, it will make kind of documentation for us so we can check and give it a green light if we want it to continue with adding the contacts into our Instantly CRM and creating the marketing campaign in Instantly. Another thing is that it will save all of the runs with the timestamps so we can easily differentiate what we done and when. And here is the expected cost that we can expect. So for 50 leads, it's roughly 50 cents, which is nothing for something like this. Now we can start with our workflow execution, but first make sure you're in Cowork and that you're in the right project. We can type something like use lead gen skill. Cowork is smart enough so it will know what it should do in this case. And yeah, I see here that I'm using legacy model, which is 4.6, so I'm going to change it to Opus 4.7. We're gonna hit send, and now it will ask us some questions that I mentioned before. As you can see here, we're running this prospect pipeline skill, so everything is good. Now it should ask us some questions. What niche should I prospect? We're gonna go with private transportation. In which city? We're gonna go with Miami. And for this tutorial, I'm going to go with 10 leads. And now it's gonna start working. Now, as you can see here, what it did so far, it used Apify to collect our leads, and then after that it used Firecrawl to go on website of each of our potential leads, and it collected additional information. Then our Claude used this additional information and made a customized title and customized body for the emails that we'll be sending to these prospects. Right now it's asking us to review this, so let's take a look at what it created for us. We're back to Visual Studio Code so we can review what we have here. I can see that we have 10 companies and each company has 3 emails, so that's basically our sequence. For this black car select limo service Miami, we can see that it couldn't find owner, so instead of having the message where we would be calling out the owner by name, we just say hi. But we can see that it customized this email based on their website and based on the services that we are offering. I can see here that we are pitching them AI receptionist. Yeah, this is really good. So this is email for day 0, then for day 3. Now here we can also see that they didn't find owner. Let's see if it found owner anywhere. So we can see here that we're sending Caitlin personalized message, so this is definitely nice. And yeah, overall this looks really good to me, so I'm going to tell Cowork to continue. Now the nice news is that Cowork has finished the whole iteration after I told it to continue, and we can go to Instantly now and we can check out our leads and our email campaign. We're in Instantly now, and then first 10 leads are some random leads that Instantly made for us, so those are not really important for us. What is interesting to us are leads from number 11 to 19 or from 10 to 19. And as we can see here, we have company name, company website, and then we also have their phone number, their location, but we also have these bodies for our customized messages, and we also have our customized subjects. So this is really nice. I can see here that Claude even made this value driver, so this is basically the value that we'll be providing to those clients, and this match offering column with the product name that we're pitching to a specific business. Really nice. Now in our campaigns, we can see that Claude also made a campaign for us. Now this campaign is not running because our skill doesn't let Claude run a campaign for us. But if that is something that you want, you can also extend the skill that I provided you with so it can also run the campaign. In this campaign that Claude created, we can see that all of the leads that I showed you previously are here, and we can also check our sequence. Here we see that we have 3 steps in our sequence, which is the same that we defined in our skill. And just to preview to see that everything works properly. Yeah, and these are basically the emails from one of our potential leads. Everything checks out. That's basically it for this automation. I hope you really found it useful. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. And remember, you can find all the templates and links in the description below. See you in the next one.